In 2028, the government warns that the world's energy will be depleted in 5 years. To address this, they plan to test the Shepard particle accelerator on the Cloverfield station in space, hoping it could provide Earth with endless energy. Ava, a British engineer, is reluctant to leave her husband Michael. They're healing from the loss of their children in a fire. However, Michael convinces her to join the mission, emphasizing the dire consequences if she doesn't find a solution. Ava becomes part of a diverse team led by American Commander Jason. The team, including German physicist Ernst, Brazilian Dr. Monk, Irish engineer Gordon, Russian engineer Sasha, and Chinese engineer Ling, work well together. Despite initial failures to activate Shepard, they persist for 2 more years. Ava maintains contact with Michael via video calls. He updates her on the deteriorating conditions of Earth. When she needs solace, she watches old videos of their children. The station's atmosphere is tense, with only enough power for 3 more attempts at activation. News from Earth is grim, with the world in turmoil due to oil wars. But there's some fear that the Shepard could be hazardous, potentially opening portals to other universes and unleashing monsters. This fear often sparks minor disputes among the crew, which can escalate into physical altercations, requiring the commander's intervention. When the time comes for the 47th test, the team manages their emotions. They carefully calculate and manage to activate a beam, but it quickly overloads and explodes. The station experiences a violent shake, causing the crew to be thrown around. Power is lost, and a fire starts near the Shepard. Ernst manages to extinguish the fire by opening vents to space. However, restoring power is difficult due to system issues. They manage to regain power from the backup system as their main power source is damaged. The oxygen tanks are leaking, depleting their reserves. Ava attempts to contact Earth for assistance, but fails. Upon checking the communications, the engineers discover that Earth is missing. They theorize that the Shepard might have transported them across the galaxy. Ava checks her personal communicator and finds that she can't reach her husband. This grim situation leads to another argument among the crew as they search for someone to blame for the malfunction. Jason takes a moment to himself to cry. Once he's composed, he ends all arguments and reminds his crew that their main goal is survival. Everyone is assigned a repair task. However, when Ava and Sasha go to inspect the gyroscope, which aids in the station's navigation, they find that it's missing. Strange occurrences continue. Sasha can't stop touching his face due to a sensation under his skin. There are also odd groaning sounds coming from a wall. This leads to another argument. Half of the crew is reluctant to open the wall for fear of releasing something dangerous, but they have no other choice. When they remove the panel, they're shocked to find a woman named Mina painfully entwined in the wires. No one recognizes her, but she knows Ava's name. The crew quickly frees her from the wires and takes her to the infirmary. There, they put her to sleep so Monk can treat her without causing further pain. On Earth, Michael wakes up due to his house shaking and sees explosions outside. He checks his phone and finds messages about a possible invasion from Europe. He looks up news online, but the government isn't revealing what caused the explosions. He calls his hospital to see if he's needed and is shocked by the situation. Back at the station, the crew is in a dispute. The gyroscope is missing, the system is scrambled, and a mysterious woman has appeared, leaving them feeling lost. Jason tells everyone to focus on repairs, but Ernst, frustrated with Jason's orders, asks Ling to meet him to discuss taking control. Sasha overhears this. Ernst loses his temper while trying to fix Shepard, but Ling reminds him that they're a team. In the recreation room, the foosball starts moving by itself. Gordon notices that the worms have disappeared from the greenhouse. Sasha is obsessively examining his skin in the mirror, thinking he can see something moving inside of him. His left eye suddenly moves independently, and he starts talking to himself in a creepy way. Sasha uses a 3D printer to create a gun, which he uses to threaten Ernst and Ling, suspecting them of a secret plot. As he's speaking, Sasha starts coughing, vomits, and collapses, having a seizure. Ling secures the gun while the crew rushes Sasha to Monk. But before Monk can help, Sasha vomits up the missing worms and dies. A scared Ava retreats to her room to avoid a breakdown, but returns when she hears that Mina has woken up. Jason is suspicious of Mina, but Ava still approaches her and asks her purpose there. Mina, equally confused about Ava, says she's been on the station for 2 years and knows everyone except for Ling. Ava tells her that Ling is the Shepard engineer, but Mina insists that's her role and that Ava was supposed to be on Earth. Mina claims that Ava was the team's civilian coordinator and that they were friends, but Ava still doesn't recognize her. Upset because no one recognizes her, Mina hugs Ava and whispers not to trust Ernst, accusing him of sabotaging the ship. When Jason hears this, he checks the system and finds emails suggesting that Ernst is a spy. Jason confronts Ernst, beats him up, and locks him in a room, even though Ernst insists that he's innocent. Meanwhile, on Earth, there are reports of widespread destruction. Michael is driving to the hospital and trying to call the base to send a message to his wife, but he learns that they've lost contact with the station. Michael suddenly stops his car when he sees a large shadow moving away from a ruined house. A young girl named Molly is crying out for help. He takes her into his car, but they can't go to the hospital because he receives a message that it's been destroyed. He assures Molly that she'll see her parents again, and then takes her to a safe shelter owned by a friend who's out of town. While Gordon is fixing things on the station, a weird hole shows up in the wall and takes his arm. The hole moves, pulling Gordon with it. Jason and Ava hear him yelling and help him out. Gordon is shocked to see that his arm is gone. Monk checks it, but can't explain it, especially since Gordon says that it doesn't hurt. Things get weirder when Ernst's door opens by itself. He finds something in the hallway and calls the crew. They're surprised to see Gordon's arm moving by itself on the floor. Gordon insists that it's not him doing it, so they put the arm in a glass box. Ernst says this proves the Cloverfield Paradox theory. 2 realities are fighting for the same space, causing chaos. The arm starts to write, and they give it a pen. It writes that they need to look inside of Sasha. They're shocked to find the missing gyroscope in Sasha's stomach. They put it back in the system, fixing the messed up system. This shows that the station had been upside down and had moved during the explosion. After they fix the problems, they find Earth again. They can't send messages yet, but they can get signals from the planet. The news they see is strange, talking about a 14-month-old war caused by the Cloverfield station crashing into the ocean. Ernst quickly gets it. They're not dealing with 2 realities clashing, but the crew and the station have jumped to a different universe where all the original crew members, except Mina, are dead. Ernst wants to fix Shepard and use it to go home, but Monk and Gordon want to help the people of this Earth. Ling disagrees, thinking that they should go back to their Earth and stop this war. Ernst ends the argument, saying that going back is their only choice because the longer they stay, the weirder things will get. Monk checks on Mina, who explains that her station also failed when Shepard overloaded, indicating they're a crew from a different universe. Ernst and Ling believe condensation caused the overload, so Ling tries to fix the ventilation. However, she gets trapped in a room filled with water. Ernst, Ava, and Jason can't override the door lock to save her. The water pressure eventually breaks the outer door, and Ling dies in the vacuum of space. After mourning Ling, Ernst wants to continue repairs, but they can't complete them without Ling. Ava suggests that Mina, being the universe's Ling, should have the necessary knowledge. Despite Jason's suspicions, they have no other option. On Earth, Michael is certain that the paradox Ava mentioned is causing the chaos. He's trying to find Molly's parents with a friend's help when their shelter starts shaking due to a monster's roar outside. On the station, Mina is allowed to leave the infirmary. She agrees to help if she can use Ernst's research to aid her Earth. Despite Ernst's objections, Jason convinces him to agree since they'll be leaving this dimension, and the Ernst from this world is no longer alive. Mina needs a lot of power to repair the final part of Shepard. The crew starts working on this, while Ava shows Mina to her new room. Ava asks why the Ava from this universe stayed on Earth, and Mina shows her a recording that reveals her children are alive in this universe, and she stayed with them. The crew is figuring out how to get the power they need to reactivate Shepard, and considers temporarily shutting down the oxygen. They plan to use 2 hours of oxygen to activate the Shepard. Once they return to their universe, the now operational Shepard should restore the oxygen. Ava asks Jason for permission to go to Earth to see her children. Despite it being against protocol, Jason allows her to go. The crew starts their plan, and Gordon shuts down the oxygen tanks. The Shepard starts working, but Gordon encounters strange magnetic issues that cause an explosion, damaging a large part of the Shepard. Mina tells the crew that they need to detach the unstable maintenance deck to survive. Ava, Jason, and Monk prepare for the mission. Despite Ernst's reminder to Mina that he's not the same person who betrayed her, she remains distant. The trio finds the maintenance ring jammed and needs to be jettisoned. Jason stays behind to manually lock the door and jettisons the ring, sacrificing his life for the crew. On Earth, Michael is watching old videos of Ava when he receives a message that Molly's parents have been found. This prompts him to record a farewell video for Ava in case he's not alive when she returns. Meanwhile, on the station, Ernst reports that they only have 43 minutes of oxygen left. Ava, now in charge, assigns tasks to everyone. She plans to fire Shepard twice, first to send them back, and then to power the station. She announces that Monk and Ernst can return, but she will go to Earth with Mina in a pod. While Monk and Ernst are working, Mina seizes the opportunity to steal the gun and takes Ava to the pod. She knocks Ava out, activates the pod to send Ava back alone, and then goes after the others. Ava wakes up quickly and realizes Mina's plan. She has to decide whether to stay in the pod or save her friends. Mina finds Monk first and shoots him to get the Shepard key, intending to use it to save her own world. Ava chooses to leave the pod and confront Mina, but by the time she gets there, Monk is already dead. Next, Mina targets Ernst. She shoots him in a non-lethal area because she needs him to operate the Shepard. She also admits she wants revenge for her crew. Ava arrives and tries to intervene, but Mina argues that Ava can't have both the Shepard and her children. Mina also declares that she's willing to kill 3 people to save 8 billion. While Ava and Mina are arguing, Ernst grabs a tool and hits Mina, allowing Ava to escape. Ernst and Mina struggle for the gun, which accidentally goes off, knocking Ernst unconscious. Mina chases Ava, trying to lure her out by playing recordings of her children. When Mina gets close, Ava attacks her, using objects around the room. In the struggle, Ava manages to get the gun and shoots the window. This results in Mina being sucked into space, while Ava clings to the furniture until she can leave the room and close the door. Afterwards, Ava takes care of Ernst's injury in the infirmary. Since they're the only ones left, Ava can't return to Earth. Instead, she sends a message to her other self, warning her about the fire and reminding her of the importance of family. Ernst and Ava manage to overload the Shepard, causing the beam to transport them between dimensions again. They can see Earth and quickly get in touch with the base, confirming that Shepard is operational and getting the green light to return. After activating Shepard a second time to start generating energy, Ernst and Ava board a pod to head home. Michael receives a message from the base that his wife is safe and they'll be reunited soon. However, Michael panics and pleads with the authorities to tell Ava not to come. As the pod nears Earth, a huge monster emerges from the clouds with a deafening roar. And that brings us to the end. This one was pretty interesting. It kind of felt like a game of Among Us, and the movie doesn't end with a happy scene. In fact, it leaves more to be desired, which is a good thing. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments section. I'd love to hear your rating on a scale of 1 to 10. And hey, if you like sci-fi and action movies, then make sure you're subscribed to our channel to get more of these awesome movie recaps delivered to your inbox. Thanks. Make sure you click that video that's on screen now to watch another movie recap. This one has an interesting twist that you're not going to expect. Come on, I'll see you in the next video.